The following is a Comfortably Zoned Radio Network production.
We are back. New York Mets baseball. 2018 underway. I'm Ralph Tyko with the Comfortably Zoned Radio Network, and the host and co-host are both here. Robert Cole and Marty Rose. Hey, guys.
Hey, Ralph.
Good. Nice to be underway.
Sure is.
And, when you win 2 out of 3, that's not a bad start. And we got some hitting, and so I'm going to leave it to you guys for your analyzation. Start with you, Robert. Are you happy with the first few days?
Well, as Meatloaf sang, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Right.
And, as Marty mentioned in a comment yesterday, they were talking about how the Mets always seem to lose on the Sunday of a 3-game series. So, as long as they win Friday and Saturday, I guess they'll be okay.
Yes, and if you get a few more rainouts, you won't have a loss for another few days, which, if you're an optimist as a Met fan, sometimes a rainout's a good thing. Harvey is going. That's going to tell a lot about how the season is going to go, I think.
Well, tonight's game's postponed, so.
Right.
And tomorrow is a 90% chance of rain. So who knows when they're going to play. Right.
Now, you mentioned something in a comment on Facebook, Marty, that July 10th is a traditional makeup day.
A traditional doubleheader, meaning one admission.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Rather than what they normally do, which is your day-night 2 admissions.
You didn't mean the date July 10th was a traditional
No.
July 9th. I got you now.
The way they worded it was traditional doubleheader, meaning the old-fashioned kind, one admission, 4 o'clock start, which we used to call twilight doubleheader,
Right. Remember those? A lot of
started 5:30, I think, if I recall.
Now, the Rays did that last year. They were the team that was designated to do that last year. They did the traditional one-admission doubleheader. However, they raised the prices from what a normal single game would be. So I don't know what that's doing.
Is that something to write home about? Holy
Yep.
Now, with all that has to be bad will right there. Whatever they raised the prices on, they lost out in the long run with bad will.
Yeah.
Because how much could have they made? Would they raise the price? Just out of curiosity, how much would an average ticket be, and what would the price that they raised it to be?
You can get at Tropicana Field, you can get seats as inexpensive as $12, and that particular doubleheader, they raised it to something like $16 to $18 for the doubleheader.
Well, I'll tell you, that franchise is famous for stepping over pennies to pick up, or stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. Give you a good example. Peter Golenbach, when the Rays first came to Tampa, he's a resident and obviously a baseball writer, a baseball author, a scheme guy. His name alone is gold. And they had him for not a big amount, a small amount of money. He told me what it was. I don't even remember. They had him writing for the programs, scorebooks and yearbooks and what have you. They had him doing the literature. You got Peter Golenbach doing this. And for X number of dollars, they came to him one year and said, we've hired some interns, and they're going to be writing it, and we decided we're going to save the money, and you won't do this anymore. Well, to have Peter Golenbach's name in your organization as part of it in some way, can't put money on it. You can't put a dollar figure on that stuff. Just like if you only get one doubleheader a year and they chintz you out of a few more dollars, you think the whole idea is a doubleheader, price of one? How could they do that? That just doesn't make sense from a public relations standpoint. That's very.
What about charging more money depending on the opponent?
Yeah,
do that too.
Absolutely, and that's not just them. That's every team does that.
League-wide.
That's absurd.
They have a silver game, a gold game, and a bronze.
Yeah.
3 different tiers.
Unbelievable.
Now, do they use that expression throughout? Everybody uses that moniker, bronze game, gold game?
That's not sure if all the teams. No, that's what the Rays use it as.
Okay.
3 different teams. And then the parking is also changed from depending on who the opponent is.
Oh, wow.
If the Orioles are playing the Rays, it's $10. If the Yankees are playing the Rays, it's $20.
I can't. It's like crows eating a carcass on the side of the road. You just get as much out of that thing. You just get every piece of meat. Unreal. That's disappointing. It's all of baseball. Are the Yankees and Mets, do they increase parking depending on opponents, Mert?
I don't know about the parking. I would think so. If anybody's doing it, I'm sure they're doing it. But, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Well, Yankee parking, I believe, is $50. 50.
To park.
Yes.
To park your car. I have paid $50 for a car in my day.
Me too.
Yeah, and I'm not exaggerating by much, if at all.
No.
For $50 to park your car. Oh, my God. Can you sneak the car in the trunk? That's what I'd like to know. But probably not. That would be too much to ask. Okay. Continue, Robert. Anything you like? Anything you're really worried about?
Well, I was a little concerned the way Matz looked yesterday. He
right.
Coming off the last couple of spring training games, I started to think, well, he's going to put it all together, and he just struggled mightily. But yet the team overall seemed to lack enthusiasm yesterday. It wasn't the same as those first 2 games. I don't know, maybe Mert feels differently, but...
No, I got that feeling too, really.
Yeah, they were just flat. There was just no energy yesterday.
Yeah, they came out with a big bang, and that's tough to maintain the whole series. You gotta say that. Let's see what they do down the road with that. Maybe they can get some consistency going. Are you happy with Callaway's decisions and the way he has things going? Let's start with you, Mert, on that.
Well, I guess Nimmo was sick the other day, which was the reason to play. One thing that bothered me a little bit in yesterday's game, I know they look flat, and I agree with that, but when Matz came out, I think it was Sewell that came in, if I'm not mistaken, and
yes.
And he worked very hard to get out of that inning. He was 3-2 on guys that were fouling pitches off. And when he got out of that inning, thought, he did a good job, and and he should sit down now. When he came back out for the next inning, I was very surprised.
Yeah.
And he ended up throwing 55 pitches in 2 innings. And I didn't think that was very smart at all. That's one thing. The other thing about
figured he used up a lot of gas in that one inning. Bring him back
to get out of that inning. Yeah, he really did. He really did.
Yeah.
He emptied the tank. And another thing, starting Bruce against Waka, the guy's 1 for 28 lifetime against Waka.
Yeah.
I mean, what does he not look at that stuff? I would have sat him, and he went 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 or whatever he did.
Isn't that the game though that Nemo? And he didn't really, he played Lagares in center instead of Nemo, and unless you're going to use Flores in the outfield.
Yeah, that might have been a good time to see how Flores can come in and play a corner outfield position and see him out there. But then again, we don't know how Bruce felt too. Bruce might have come to him and said, "Hey, I'm really feeling good today," or not that he played like it.
No, it's true. In any case, just heard that Vargas is going to Florida to stretch out to 90 pitches. He threw a bullpen session today in the 60 pitch range, so he's going down to stretch out, and he should be back around April 13th or 14th, they said. So Lugo may only get one turn because they're going to skip him because of the postponements. After Harvey goes tomorrow, they're coming back with Syndergaard for the next day. Yeah. And then DeGrom will open the National Series.
Depending on how Matz's next start is, it may be Matz that gets replaced and Lugo stays in.
Well, that could be, but I don't think they'll pull him after one game. But
not after one game. He'll get probably 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't give him a lot of slack. I wouldn't. No.
But let me say this: just the expression, "We have an option." What you said, that they have an option to make Matz the guy. We haven't had that. We've been controlled by decisions made because of injuries for 2 years. I can't remember a decision made because of skills on the field, performance on the field, good, bad, or indifferent. So I would say that has to be a sign that they're deeper, in much better shape physically, and with Vargas back. I don't know how Wheeler is, if he's healthy or just working his way back. But if health isn't an issue with him, you got 6, including Lugo, 7, Gesellman 8 possible starters, back to where it was with an abundance of riches, and none of them really seem too worse for the wear from recovering from the injuries. I mean, it took Harvey 2 years to do it, but as I was saying the other day to Mert, he hadn't had one bad, really disastrous outing in spring training.
No.
So
yeah, he seems to have his his mojo back again also.
Yeah, his body, his posture, just his sense on the mound, where the look about him, that absolutely. And Thor, we can't go too far longer without going, this guy could be up for being the best pitcher in baseball.
As long as he stays healthy.
Yeah, I mean, his first game wasn't that great. I mean, he did have 10 strikeouts, but he gave up, some runs, more than you would like to see, as a matter of fact.
Right. I think he had 4 and 6 innings or something like that, which is definitely more than than you like to see. But you get
the big strikeout in the big situation, then you can get out of those things. So.
Yeah.
I think he was a little too amped up, that opening game too.
Probably so, yeah.
And he's always got what I call 100-mile-an-hour itis.
Yeah.
Which seems to be going around baseball, and it's if fans see 100 miles an hour, they go nuts, and that pumps the player up even more, and it just changes the priorities of pitching, where how fast you pitch is the only thing that's important, as opposed to what your off-speed pitch is, how you're going to disguise your off-speed pitch. I think I'd like to hear more talk about that. Who has a breaker that'll, knock your knees off, that kind of thing, as opposed to who's faster and fastest. That gets old, and it's just the way it is. Just like I'd like to hear something where the guy gets credit for getting the runner over from second to third with less than 2 outs by hitting to the other side of the field. Like to see guys get more credit for that on ESPN and what have you, Baseball Tonight. Just then home run this, home run that, exit speed, loft speed, this, that, and the other thing.
Ralph, this isn't our baseball anymore. Sabermetrics has totally taken over.
Yep.
It's just not the same anymore. The managers are told what to do. I don't know if you guys followed the Yankee game at all yesterday, but Boone was put in a situation because of sabermetrics where he walked the guy that hadn't been hitting yet this year, and the following guy hit a grand slam home run. So he was
because he had a history against the pitcher, right?
Right.
Yeah. He hit the pitcher good in the past, but this, like Robert said, he had a slow start this year, but they put him on anyway and then paid for it.
Yep. That's why I'm anxious to see Vargas pitch, because Vargas is the total opposite of the other 4 guys in the rotation. Vargas does not have a real good fastball. He's a curveball, changeup type pitcher, and I think that'll really be a change, when you have to face Vargas after facing Thor and then DeGrom. And then you would face Vargas, and you followed it up with Harvey and Matz.
Yeah, so it'll be about 2 weeks till he's back.
Yeah.
They said the April 13th to 14th, but he's got to be able to catch the ball with his glove hand and close the glove on the ball, because his injury was to the glove hand. That was his problem.
In the NL, you got to come up and bat too. So
you got to grip the bat.
Well, as a relief pitcher, he wouldn't come. Oh, no, that's right. He's a starter. What am I saying? Yeah. He has to be able to swing the bat. Yeah. Have you heard anything about Swarzak?
The latest I heard was they were still waiting for the results of some tests, but the bad news is that they brought Robles back to New York.
Oh.
So just
like
in case Swarzak has to go on the DL, our friend the Sky Pointer is coming back.
I always call him the gas man. It's like some gas on a fire.
Yeah, that would be it.
Well, I never thought, when he left last time, I thought, that's it. Then you would this guy again. But
and that may have been one of the reasons why he left Sewald in for another inning yesterday. He didn't have Swarzak. He had used Gazelman in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
He probably didn't have a whole lot of options.
Well, that's true. Well, he had Ramos, who came in later. Swarzak's
out with an oblique, And I heard an interview with Dusty Baker. I might have mentioned this before to either of you guys or both, that he played in the big leagues for 15 years. Never once went on the DL in 15 years. And he said, I just recently found out what an oblique was. We didn't even know oblique. It's a totally new term. I guess was it a hip pointer or what is that? What is an oblique? Can either of you guys give me something in the movement, something in the rotation of your hips?
I thought it was like on the side, like on the side of your stomach. That's what I thought it was.
Right.
To one side.
Okay. Well, it was all new to Dusty. And so let's hope he's better. They've been known to take like 6 weeks to come back with like a hamstring.
Great.
So yeah. Familia. Did he get better towards the end of spring training? He seemed to have gotten a little more control.
Yeah, they didn't really use him all that much early on, and he's looked okay so far in his appearance.
Okay, and they're still talking about him as the closer and not bullpen by committee from that standpoint.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, we got the 4 out. He finished the game, right? The last 4 outs the other day.
Right.
So, yeah. So
that's after Swarzak got hurt. So, you don't want to see him having to do too many, 4-out saves, though.
No, you don't. No, for sure.
He's one of those guys that is not effective in the second inning.
No.
Some are, some aren't. Conforto, some good news there. He's on his way. Now, did they put him on the DL retroactively to the season starting to back in spring? So if it isn't the full 10 days or 15 days, they can call
I believe they did, yeah.
Okay, so he may be ready at any time.
Yeah, he could, yes. Yes, he can come back pretty soon. That definitely did that.
Yeah, I would rather not bring him up right now, especially with the cold weather. He's better off leaving him in Florida right now for a couple of, another week or so. But that's just me.
Well,
I think he's already.
Sorry, that. Yeah.
I think he's already in New York.
Oh, is he?
I think so. I could be wrong, but I thought I saw something where he was taking swings, indoors, in New York.
Hey, you know who looks good in a uniform, in a Met uniform, and he's just much better hands than I thought, and that's Frazier over at third. Wow. He made a bare-handed play on a bad hop that was so smooth.
Oh, yeah.
Well, really
he started off as a shortstop. I think he started off as a shortstop. So
but he's always been definitely a very good third baseman.
Yeah.
And he's got that face, that game face type thing where he's a competitor, and I like that a lot. I also like that Rosario is right in the middle of a veteran infield. That's got to help him quite a bit. And
he's looked pretty good so far, even at the bat. He's got 3 runs batted in. And what do you guys think about this pitcher hitting 8th business? I think, for Rosario, I think it's good.
Get an extra leadoff guy in. Actually.
Plus the second time Cespedes comes up, he's got 2 guys hitting ahead of him instead of 1.
Right.
So,
I
think So far, so good with that.
Plus, the Met pitchers as a whole are fairly decent hitters. You know, Syndergaard, Matz, DeGrom. I mean,
yeah, they are.
Harvey, they all can hit.
That's
Matz especially. He came up with a big bang. First couple of games, couple of triples or whatever, doubles, triples. This could be, as I said to you guys in a little memo, the way things are looking, I'm raising my 91 games is not out of the question by any count.
Getting giddy.
Yeah, I am.
No, Ralph.
I am. Haven't
so really concerned about the bullpen. Really concerned.
Yes, Mert, as I was saying, though, you get guys, if you have 8 guys that are potential starters, that in itself makes the bullpen much, much deeper. And if these guys are going longer innings, and that have to compared to last year, that takes pressure off the bullpen, too.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
So,
yeah, I like Gazelman in the bullpen, and you know, if Lugo winds up there too, then that would be all the better for that.
Yeah, you get multiple innings out of both of them.
Yeah.
What do you guys?
Not only that, but like I say, if you have 5 guys going at least 5 innings, or I was going to say 7, but on the average, say, I don't know, say let's average that, make that 6 innings. Get 6 innings out of every starter. That really reduces the load on the bullpen.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So let's hope for the best there. Pilecki seems to be the guy behind the plate.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's going to be close to 50-50, Ralph, you know.
Really?
I think so. That's not a bad idea. You know, it's not a bad idea.
You keep them both fresh. You keep them both, in the game.
Yeah.
True from that standpoint, but defensively, Pilecki seems to have a much better arm.
That's why the guys that can't hold the runners on as well or slow it to the plate, maybe we'll have Pilecki, you know, like with Syndergaard, have Pilecki, you know, go with those guys on the mound.
And who knows, these 2 new pitching coaches that they have, I think that's how Marty explained it last week, these 2 guys may be able to get these guys to speed up or show them how to check, you know, look over there, or, you know, do what it takes.
You would hope.
Hey, speaking of baseball instructions, do you guys watch the MLB TV channel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you ever get to see Billy Ripken given a little class on baseball?
Yes. Yep, I have.
He is so good and so concise, and look for him. It's really an education just listening to him. I love that channel. That channel is... if we had that as kids, we'd still be kids.
Oh, man. Yeah. Really?
We would have had no incentive to grow up or anything. We got this all 24 hours a day. We don't need to grow up.
Yeah.
But so you guys are both happy with the way the first weekend went, and I know I am. And I'm going to ask you both. A downside besides the bullpen?
Just really, you know, they're not really deep in the outfield right this moment. That's a concern, I think. You know, somebody goes down. You know, there could be a problem. You know, that's a little bit of a concern to me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, I have a concern at first base. You know, Gonzalez has shown well defensively, but he hasn't shown a whole lot yet offensively.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
You got to give him some time, though.
General lack
he had
of
a
team
good first
speed.
game. He showed a little the first game.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But I noticed they had mentioned that the coaches are going to be more aggressive on the bases, and seen a couple of guys get thrown out already. So
Gonzalez being one of them.
yes, the lack of team speed is that's going to hurt at some point.
Especially with Conforto coming back, ironically. I mean, it just either Nemo or Lagares much faster than him, just from pure speed. But I got to ask you guys too. It's not the Mets; it's the Yankees. Judge in center field.
Well, Ralph, I was at the Yankee exhibition games, 2 games, when they tried Stanton in left field, and he cannot play left field. And, they want to try to get Stanton in the outfield. The only place he can play is right field. And so what do you do with Judge? I don't think they want to move Judge to left field either. Left field in Yankee Stadium is horrible to play. So,
Gardner should be out there every day. I really like Gardner.
Well, Gardner's going to be out there every day, but he likes him in left field, not in center field.
Yeah.
Because the trickiness in the Yankee Stadium left field.
Right. So
we talked about Hicks, and if Hicks stays healthy, he hasn't, and Ellsbury may be a factor. Because he seems to be on his way back.
He's hurt too.
Yeah.
But I think he's a lot closer to coming back than Hicks is.
Oh, Hicks is going to be out 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay, well, Ellsbury's another 5-6 days is all.
Yeah, I think I heard Thursday or Friday for Ellsbury.
Right.
He's as fragile as glass, though.
That's true. Well, that's what happens when you build a fantasy team. You got Judge, Sanchez, you got all this power, but we'll see how that works. There are guys coming up like Bird and Hicks in that organization that always seem to be hurt.
Oh, yeah.
They ought to look at their training staff. How about that?
So
now that we got a new one.
2 full years and been on the DL 4 times already.
Who's that?
Hicks.
Oh, Hicks. Yeah. Wow. And Bird too is fragile as hell.
Bird's been a year and a half, and he's been on the DL I think 3 times.
Wow. Well, not that we have anything to say about fragility being Mets. It's been the 2, I can't remember 2 years where they were more outdone by injuries than anything else.
Oh, yeah.
The last 2. So, I know I said this last year, but the law of averages simply has to catch up. They're going to stay healthy, I think. I hope.
Let's hope so.
All you can do is hope. Hey, guys, good show. Enjoyed it. Enjoy your company as usual. And we'll be back next week. Thank you very much for listening out there. Marty Rose, Robert Cole, thank you for being here.
Well, my pleasure.
Have a good
week. We'll be back next week. Thanks, everybody. Let's go, Mets. Adios.
Good night.